as I was saying before a few days ago, that the issue is on the president and his constitutional duties of upholding the Constitution, Section 90. And accompanied with that, in the application are heavy annexures, and the annexures are centered on his promise, both nationally and internationally, that he was going to be constitutionalist and he was not going to. So, like I told you again last week, that Maduke told me that this is the route. He gave me the copy, I gave it to Owen, I gave it to a few other people, and I'm so happy. Thank you very much, Owen. He made his analysis. Of course, the analysis, we had discussed it. I'm on the ground. I know some things that are happening, and this which came, it will be very difficult for any court of law to dispute the evidence. You remember, the president also even wanted at one point to have someone jailed for 20 years, which is level 14 of the Criminal Procedures Act, whatever, for saying on social media that he had said he was for 2030. Now he's a person who chaired, so those are the bases on which they are pinning him on Section 90. And of course, the Constitutional Court has to make the declaration and it also has to overturn that. I don't know how. But again, I'm so impressed by your platform, Ango Jeda, and I'm impressed what is going on. And it was also timely that you came up with Resistance Radio. In a few days' time, we will be approaching you like I've always promised you, we'll be approaching you. I don't care what people think I am, whether they think I'm Gwachamisa or Rukwani, but this we are doing as Zimbabweans. There's something coming up. Again, I'll tell you, there's something coming up in a few days' time. We've had several meetings. We also have had our youngsters, I don't want to call them youth, but we have our youngsters that have been going around the country. Now we think it's time for us to put in something, and it's coming up. We've done the legal documents. The legal documents are in place. They're in good order. I looked at them. I smiled. I shared with some people. They smiled as well. So the collective and active action, let me say, right now we have got the court case challenge, which was imminent, and which we did mention, which we said, but it is the overwhelming evidence presented in the legal document that I think ZANU-PF scored an own goal. It doesn't matter that the courts are captured. It does not matter at the minute. The way Zimbabweans are amplifying this issue from all corners of the world, it will be difficult to ignore at international stage. I know ZANU-PF knows. I know they've got sleepless nights. I know they actually don't know why they listened to Ziambi. If you remember, Ziambi only got 35 votes. When he challenged the 35 votes, he was beaten by 3,000 by another ZANU-PF incumbent. So he is a loser to me. He grew up a scientist and then turned into law. And then because he was not voted, this is the only way he could stay relevant in the mix of ZANU-PF by lying. But it's going to cost them heavily because this time it is not an individual party or an individual leader or an individual person. It's everyone. It is everyone. People are busy in rural areas as we speak. The youth is actually pushing some of us that leadership, we want to action now. We want action now. I'm saying, no. Hold your guns. Calm down. Calm down. It's not yet time. It is not yet time to act. What we want is to hear what the court say. Once the court saying whilst we're mobilizing, then we invoke Section 67. and we're allowed if we do it peacefully. And the whole world will be looking on if we are going to do it peacefully. So what's next? What's next with some of us is that we want to listen because we cannot all be on the ground. Some people will be on the ground, some people will be away. We'll be coming to some places, we'll be coming to South Africa, we'll be coming to the UK. Not that we are better than anyone, no, no, we're not, but we are people on the ground. We are people on the ground. We are people that will carry the campaign. We are people that will meet people. We are people that will go places. We are people that will be sent by yourselves. It's difficult. It's something else speaking on this platform. And then it's another mobilizing. It's another getting people's confidence. We have already been, we galvanized, like after 2023 debacle, we went bravely outside. Some people called us blue movement, whatever. We did not move so much with many people, but we are saying this time, anyone who wants to, we are respected in the whole 10 provinces of the country because we went there when it was not fashionable to do so. When it was so, there wasn't even this constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026. There wasn't. But we braved, we went, we did a lot of things. So there's no need to reinvent the wheel because we've been everywhere. We've been everywhere and we've documented everything that we did. You saw people being arrested when we actually wanted to just present a petition and demonstrate during SADC. You know how the government freaked out and what they did. You know what happened when we also tried even to support it, Africa Unit Square, the late Comrade Geza, and you know what's happening with our Masbaba Shanduko. So we need boots on the ground. That's what we need. We're not looking for anyone's money or anything, but we need just the support. And thanks, Uncle Jeda. Thanks also some people that are publicizing a lot of things. I was in a space this afternoon with where there was full of ZANU-PF. I could see the tone changing that you guys the bill is not even going to the president. And he says he's a constitutionalist. And I'm saying, what is that? Are they making a U-turn? I don't know what will happen next, but certainly I think ZANU-PF has scored its own goal. And this is the time when Zimbabweans should forget about who are Mtwakas, ZANU-PF, ZAPU, whatever. If you are experiencing the poverty and hardship that some of us are experiencing, then you need to join hands with us. Then let's talk later. It's not about positions, it's not about offices, it's about liberating our country. If you look at the development, look, we can talk of towns, but let's look at rural areas, especially this year. There were so many rains, and the rains exposed massive corruption. We normally look at corruption when we look at minerals, we look at tenders, tenderpreneurs, and the like. The rural folks are suffering, gentlemen. I told you the other day that my uh, my my young boy was here, my young man, my brother was here, who works somewhere very close around Murombe's area. And he was telling me, there's this presidential scheme. They are being given one bag of fertilizer and they are asked to share three. Three people share a 50 kg ammonia nitrate. Three people share a 50 kg compound D. And that's it. And they go back. And we know how our agriculture was destroyed by Tagwire. He started the command agriculture, but look, ever since 15 years ago, nothing has come up. Nothing at all. Forget about some things that they will dispute. What about agriculture and how many billions have gone into there? If you go to rural areas, some of you maybe have been away for a long time. There are small little dams in roads. Roads are impassable. Christmas, people spent on the other side of rivers because they couldn't pass. But if you look at it, there's a bridge. And if you count how many bridges there are in the country, rural areas, we don't talk about it because it's ZANU-PF dominated areas, RDCs, rural district councils, 63 of them. And you can imagine how much money is going out. No one ever talks about that. Nobody. There are some things that were donated years back and they are rotting somewhere. Remember those presidential input schemes and all these farm mechanization schemes? Some people have about seven. I know very well a guy who was a former minister of state who had 7 vehicles gotten through that scheme, and he is just looking at them. ASRMA 2013, Asakara Manja, Kadara Armanoan. So, there's a lot that will do as Zimbabweans. Zimbabwe is decaying. Zimbabwe is going down. Never mind about the new things that they might be stealing from. Imagine, I think a few days ago, Wickenow gave out something like 12. You call them what? Toyota Fortunas. New.
Mm.
I don't understand and I don't know how much they would want as evidence to start investigating. Who has got a company that can make a profit of say 1.5 million every single month is profits for him to be able to get that money, give to people, and still remain with something and fly around the country or the world with his private jet. That lifestyle should be audited somewhere, somehow. In the public interest, he has to be audited. Thank you very much. Sorry.